the man, he's the myth, he's the legend, he's the scientist with all the answers and all the questions. It's time for another episode of Alex's Science Corner.
Oh, thank you. Oh, please. Oh. I gotta turn my headphones off right before we
I wasn't even on top of the mic that time.
I know. But still, it's impressive on how well it's picked up.
It's like that annoying little chihuahua in the room.
That's me.
Alex, what's going on in the wide world of science, my friend?
All right, so researchers that are studying Mars have found that there's a lot more water ice on Mars than they expected, and it's a lot closer to the surface than they expected. They're recently going through a lot of the information that they've been collecting from the past 5 years from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, and the thing that they're learning is that they know there is ice on Mars. The question was, where is it? And now they are finding it. There are places where the ice is only like about 3 to 6 feet from the surface in some places.
So when do we get to go there? Because, I mean, isn't that the whole thing? As long as there's water there, we can go there?
Yes, that's part of it. I was planning on getting to that, but right now, Bobby, I feel like we're willing to send you right now.
She's showing off at.
I'm sorry.
We have a distinguished...
No. She thinks Matt Damon is still there.
We have a distinct...
He's not! He's not! What?
She would like to be trapped on Mars with Matt Damon.
Yes, that's...
Okay.
All right.
And we have a distinguished visitor in the room as well. So, all right. So keep going there, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for that permission right there. So anyway, using this, they've been finding that there are a lot of layers, that the ice layers are much farther south and north. They are closer to the equator than they had thought they would be, and that they are closer to the surface. Which means that, and the way it's layered means that it was laid down with just like a rocks layer. They may be able to pull up different information from the layers of ice on the geological history of Mars. And also that they may be able to use it for water. One of the things they don't know yet is how contaminated the ice is with various salts. So, because what that means is the purer the water, the less you have to clean it up. If it has a lot of salts and perchlorates, that means they have to bring a lot of filtering equipment and desalinization equipment to be able to use that water that's there. But that still may be better than trying to drag all that water from Earth.
Do they get paid salary, or is this hourly?
For the astronauts?
For the people that's going to be doing all the work on Mars.
Well, that's going to be a
Desalination.
salaried.
Yeah,
that's
the
going to be a
desalination.
salaried position because just like any salaried position, they expect you to work overtime.
Are they paid for their travel? That's the other question.
the per diem. The per diem allowance, I think, is going to be covered because they're providing the vehicle. Just like if you get a company car, your per diem allowance is covered because they provide the vehicle. So they're not gonna. You're not gonna get a per diem allowance, and you're gonna be a salaried position. So
Couldn't they desalinate the water with the way Matt Damon did on Mars? That's a serious question. I mean, he
they use water filtration. So what they use in the space station right now is a water reclamation system. So any water that the astronauts give up, like through urine and feces, is filtered out and reused. Which is a running joke when the Italians were talking about putting in a cappuccino maker on the space station. And that's a serious comment. They did.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember them talking about that.
They did not want to use the American water. Because it's like, we understand it's pure, but we just don't want to make cappuccino with recycled water.
Darnell, if Darnell was here, we'd tell you that you can drink it twice before it becomes poisonous. I mean, you guys were both in the military. You probably know that.
I'm going to let Darnell's history on that
I don't know how
stand.
much pee these guys were drinking.
I was in the Air Force, so that was not something that we had to worry about or part of our normal survival.
Yeah, I
stuff.
know. It was definitely something Darnell had to deal with.
I don't remember that, but
And Army
Yeah,
Ranger. Yeah, you don't remember that story? Okay.
maybe he'll check in and we'll find
Yeah.
out.
So go ahead. Go. What's our
Yeah,
next?
Darnell, call us and tell us how much urine you drank.
Yeah, give us a ring. We'll put you on air.
Is that so? That was your whole story? Was just the Mars? Did you have a second story?
Right now, this was a kind of quiet week for your science
News.
news stories. So,
And
but
news
that
of
was,
the weird, too.
And I mean, it was going to be I mean, they found ice in other places than they expected. So there's a better chance of being able to use ice and being able to learn more from the ice because we're not going to have to go. We can get closer to the poles to gather the ice.
Does this make it more feasible for us to actually have a Mars
Mission?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's one
A
of the
Mars
things that
human mission, because
Yes.
we've had a number of
Yes.
missions to Mars.
And that's what I was expecting that you're saying, because that we, like you said, we've already had many Mars missions going on. It does open up more options. It means that we can get closer to the equator for the missions, because one of the challenges with going closer to the poles is when the spacecraft takes off from Mars, the closer to the poles it is, the more fuel the spacecraft's going to need to get into orbit.
Higher magnetism.
No,
magnetic
what it is
pull?
because when there's a reason why we have our launch facilities on Florida, which is as far south as we can get. Because if you're on the equator, you have the Earth's rotation to help you toss you into orbit. The farther north you are, you have
there's
less rotational velocity.
I thought it had more to do with magnetic pull.
No.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
it's
Never thought about that. Yeah.
Learn from science.
I know. Really.
I thought it was the weather.
Actually, no. The weather is horrible in Florida, but it's far south, which is why the French have their launching facilities in Guyana. The French rockets are launched from Guyana because that's French territory as close to the equator as they can get.
Okay. Makes sense now.
France
All right.
has a space program?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
France has been launching. All the European Space Agency launches go through France.
Okay.
Or a French launch facility.
Sacre bleu.
Final thoughts, and then we'll throw it out to the audience to call them.
The hoi polloi.
Yes. So if you have any science-related questions about this story or anything else science-y, feel free to call right now at 203
837
99.
2-4.